there, I'm Pop Culture Pete, the Pop Culture Problems mascot. You should buy Pop Culture Problems because it's so good and I'm fun. That's all I got.
And it's free.
Oh, and it's free. Yeah, that's good too. Pop Culture Pete, John, I'm trying him out as possibly a mascot to represent our shows, be in our commercials, all that stuff.
And I pictured, just listening to his voice, he's dressed like an old prospector, maybe?
No, he's wearing a kilt.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I
don't feel like they really matched, the accent really matched up with the character there.
Yeah, but see, that's kind of what our show is. It pushes boundaries and
it doesn't believe in stereotypes.
No, I mean not like you.
Whoa.
Because I mean,
because
you
obviously
just literally are like,
yes.
Are you an old prospector? And I'm like, no, John, I'm a little bit more liberal than that.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a kilt. And, Anyway, we're talking about commercials and jingles and mascots. We've talked about mascots.
Oh my!
Before. Yeah, Wizard of Oz. You try, John. Yeah, we've talked about mascots before, so I don't want this just to strictly be a mascot.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
But when we talked about mascots, it was kind of a different context. Like, I think we were just talking about like our favorites. I want to talk about horrible mascots, but in relationship to commercials. You know, like. What makes a good commercial? Is it the jingle?
Yeah,
is it the person? Is the product? The sex sell? What is it?
I think the product is like probably the least important part of a effective commercial. I mean, the jingle, the theme of the commercial, the characters involved are all paramount in comparison to the actual product involved. Like for example, these recent Dilly Dilly commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I actually kind of like the Dilly Dilly commercials because it goes back to the ridiculousness of what commercials used to be. Because I really think we kind of got away from the stupidity just for stupidity's sake in regards to commercials. Like, remember the "What's up"? Remember those commercials?
Yeah.
I mean, those were huge because they were just ridiculous and stupid.
Well, and I think we still have that. I mean, you and I have beat the dead horse of the Colonel Sanders KFC thing. But that's ridiculous, and I think they're getting back to that a little bit. I action it to the, I don't like sports, and I don't drink. So Bud Light or an alcohol commercial during the Super Bowl, like, why would I care? It's not going to make me drink, and I'm not going to care about the game. I almost every year look up the Super Bowl commercials because that's almost the reason I would watch it. They have movie trailers and big commercials, and Bud Light used to. I mean, they have these like story commercials now that are more like touching and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But they used to have the frogs.
They used to have the Bud Bowl, where it was Bud Light versus Budweiser, and it was the bottles with helmets on, and it was like it was the big.
Just silly, stupid stuff, and I think that is the crux of marketing. Is just getting your name out there. Let's say I was going to go buy a beer, okay? I'm not a drinker. I had a sip of beer on my 21st birthday. I didn't care for it, not that the brand wasn't good or anything like that. I had a Bud Light because that's the beer that I knew because I had 1,000 commercials. That was the one that I should try. And it wasn't... I'm not saying that their product isn't delicious, but I don't care for it. If you don't like seafood, you're not going to like any kind of fish. So, I just think that brand recognition is important, and that's what the whole purpose of it is. Just get the name out there. When you're going through the supermarket, you have X brand next to all these generic brands that are probably almost identical. They've just branded the other one better so they can mark it up in price.
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of commercials that like stick out to you, like what are some of like the most effective that you can remember off the top of your head? Shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, shot out of a cannon. I'm gonna first preface it with this. I have not watched commercials for a really long time unless I specifically look them up. Because all of our streaming packages, we do the no commercial option. Okay. Netflix, they don't have commercials. And so we really see very few commercials. We just got Sling, and we have commercials now, and it's like a new experience. We're seeing things we never saw, but they actually repeat commercials. So when we'll watch an episode 30 minutes long, we'll see the trailer for instance, Dunkirk of a few months back. We saw that trailer probably 400 times because we were binge watching a show, and it was like That's enough. That is enough Dunkirk. I don't want to see any more of it. I like the old classics. Like, I think I like the old classics that are nostalgic for me as a kid, but I really like it when they reinvent them in a fun way. I used to think the Maytag repairman was a fun guy. He seemed like a nice dude who comes to your house. Wasn't particularly great commercials, but he seemed like a nice guy. The new Maytag repairman commercials are clever.
Yeah, they're great.
Like with the guy, he's like sitting as though he's the washing machine and kind of spinning clothes around, and it's clever. It's funny. I think that's good. I think Geico consistently has good commercials.
Oh, I love it.
And I have never wanted to get Geico insurance. Like, I've never been, tempted.
But they're entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
And who is in the Geico marketing department? Whoever that is, they deserve all the money.
They deserve all the money.
All the money.
Every one of the monies.
Yes, give them all of them. Because like you could think the entire time you're watching the commercial, what in the world is this a commercial for? And it ends up being a Geico commercial.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that is the best kind of commercial that brings you in. I was doing, I worked at a university, and we were doing a promotional video for one of the departments. And I'm big into theater, and so I was kind of doing stuff for that department. And when they first showed them the video, they're like, well, you need our logo at the very beginning. And it really didn't say our university on it. And I said, that's the point.
Yes.
Like, you need to have... So we had this...
you want people to have an experience.
Oh, and
that's what college is all about. That's what the business is all about. So you want them to have an experience watching the ad. So they're like, geez. Well, if this 30 seconds was that exciting of an experience...
Well, and
what would 4 years be like?
You don't want to tip people off that you're selling to them. So we made this video following this girl through her journey in the theater department and how, she felt, kind of insecure and a little, not sure about herself and got cast in some lead roles and kind of her journey. And at the end, it's like, experience this university. And so the whole time you're watching it, you're thinking, oh man, that's really cool that she did that. And gosh, I'm shy, or I've had insecurities, and gosh, I'd really love to act. I mean, I'm really big into theater. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and there's the answer, Mm-hmm. And so with a lot of these commercials, I think if you're not overt by saying, I'm here to sell you something, and here's the reasons why. If you kind of lull people in, I think that you have a better chance, actually.
Yeah. I agree completely. You're it's like edutainment.
Edutainment.
Yeah. Wow. You're educating the person on your product while entertaining them.
Well, and I think for me, you have to get... Geico is a perfect example.
Yeah.
They had to get clever because their product is boring.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't have an exciting product.
But you look at all the insurance companies now, nationwide, they have the Mayhem guy.
Love him.
He's awesome. Mayhem's awesome. Mayhem's awesome. State Farm, they have like the discount double check stuff with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they have those because I think you're right. It's because for the most part, products are, especially insurance products, are pretty boring. But there's other products that might have a little bit more flash and a little more pizzazz, if you will. But you still need that extra oomph to get the point across that, hey, our product's better than the guy down the street.
Speaking of insurance, I could do without the Aflac duck, but I really liked and wish they would bring back the Geico cavemen. Remember,
yeah, they were so popular they actually spun off into their own sitcom. And they got canceled shortly.
But I think it was almost akin to like Phil Hartman's caveman lawyer.
Yeah, caveman.
Lawyer.
Unfrozen caveman lawyer or something like that.
What do I know? I'm just a caveman. How would I know how to
Phil
do
Hartman.
Yeah,
too soon, Josh.
Rest in peace.
Too soon.
And part of my point with that, it's a boring product. You also have to be careful when you're selling a product that's tough to advertise. Squatty Potty.
Yeah.
They have done a phenomenal
they
job
absolutely have
marketing because it is not it's not a glamorous subject to say, hey, well, let's talk about your bowel movements.
And it's really not a real glamorous product.
No.
It's a plastic formed thing that you put your feet on.
Yeah, but they embrace
while you're going
the
dookie.
silly in order to make a light of this thing, you know. And
I love the commercial with the unicorn making the ice cream.
Oh, actually, absolutely. And what was there's a dragon. I think it's a dragon making maybe ice cream.
Maybe,
yeah. They have all these little puppety, muppeted, TM.
And we all know I love that stuff. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. That's why you buy it. You're like, if Muppets like it, then sold.
Yes.
Now, what do you feel about jingles, like TV jingles? I mean,
I'm a fan of jingles.
I kind of think they've gotten away from it. I mean, do you remember recent jingles?
J.G. Wentworth. J.G. Wentworth, 18677 cash now, or
I do not.
You're not familiar with that?
No,
holy cow! I would say that's probably one of the most famous of the last decade or two. J.G. Wentworth has a great jingle.
Really? I don't remember. I don't know.
I might have to pull it up here so that you can listen to it, Josh. But
okay.
What about you?
I'm trying.
I think one that comes to mind is "I'm loving it."
Oh,
McDonald's. Yeah, absolutely.
And those things are to try to get things to be recognizable. Is Nike the best shoe? Is it the best shirt? Is it going to make you jump higher? Is it going to make you sweat less? I mean, whatever. No, you want that little swoosh. Like, you want the swoosh because people, they identify with it, and they, you know, and you're advertising for them by wearing it, you know. And so I don't think that, you know, it's necessarily a better or worse product, but you get kind of identified. So I'm loving it. People know that, and instantly you know that that's what that company is. If you see something red and yellow, you know what the company is. And I think I love that about advertising in general, the subtleties. FedEx, the little arrow in the FedEx logo. Have you ever seen it? Like, it's like within the letters, and it's so subtle. But once you see it, you like can't unsee it. It's like, oh, geez, that's really clever. I like it. So I mean, I like that. Jingles. I can't remember jingles.
Really?
I don't remember a lot of them. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yeah.
Like, I got a couple of those.
Nationwide is on your side. Yeah. All these insurance companies.
That is true.
The marketing and branding that they have. Holy cow.
Jingles. I don't think we've talked about it on this show, but Barry Manilow was a jingle writer. So I think, I think the Nationwide, possibly.
I think it is.
I think that might be him. Yeah.
You know, but it also, Nationwide is on your side. I could also hear Randy Newman singing that.
Nationwide is on your side.
I can see him in the recording studio, and they're like, Randy, it's not working for us.
Well, I bet he added his own flair to it.
Yeah.
I bet he was like, "You're going to be a nation. You're going to be on my side." And it was like, what are you doing? That's not how it goes. It's like a good nation. We're on your side. No, you're using the tune from the other one.
Here's one that I've actually sang when I get up in the morning, and I actually don't drink this type of coffee, but the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Yes.
Where did that one go?
That's what I'm saying. Is I can't even remember them because they're gone. It's like a days of old. I was referencing the Barry Manilow thing. So he did do the State Farm, but he also did I Am Stuck.
Band-Aid brand.
Like, that's a recognizable one.
Another one that is more recent, the $5 footlong song.
I don't know.
$5 footlong from Subway.
Hutton.
Really?
I have never heard. I don't get commercials. I do not get commercials.
A Meow Mix?
I haven't had commercials since like 2006. It's been like over 10 years.
Okay, how about Meow Mix?
Meow, meow, meow. But that's an Austin Powers thing. I want chicken. I want liver. Meow Mix, please deliver, Mr. Picklesworth. Yeah. Like, that's more of it's a pop culture thing, which is
you're right
for this show, you know. But yeah, I do remember Meow Mix. Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Yeah.
I wish I were an Oscar Mayer Wiener.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yes.
I mean, I do think jingles are a little bit of a lost art.
Oh, absolutely, because we forgot about them. But immediately upon talking about it, we're like, yes, I remember that. And we got this like wave of nostalgia coming over us because we resonate with that. I wonder why they got rid of that. I feel the same way with TV shows. Like a lot of sitcoms, they don't have words. They're just kind of a musical.
You're right.
And it's kind of it's a lost. Yeah, it's lost. Oh, you got something.
How about the Mentos?
Mentos
freshness.
Mentos freshness.
Or Doublemint gum was another great one.
Yeah, it's a paper double mint gum. See, like you mentioned them, and I'm like, okay, it floods back to me.
Yeah.
I gotta mention this. I was in a hotel room in Wisconsin, and I was watching the local station, and I don't know if this is in Milwaukee or Madison or somewhere in Wisconsin, and all of a sudden this commercial comes on, and it is clearly a local commercial, and I believe it's for a law firm or insurance agency. I wasn't sure, but it was William Shatner.
Okay, all right.
He's on this local, like clearly local, like regional commercial, and I guess like he is maybe friends or somebody with somebody who owns the company, but it's Huppy and Abraham. He's like, you need to call Huppy and Abraham for a free consultation. Call 1-800 blah blah blah. And I'm like, William Shatner. Like I thought, how far have you fallen? Because he's doing like a local like Wisconsin commercial.
I bet he's like friends with the guy or something. Yeah,
I think he's just friends with him. But like, it's also about celebrity power because that company's probably like people are like, well, if William Shatner goes to Hoopy and Abraham, then we must do it too. You know what I mean? So like we got to do that. We got to get over there and
get on over there.
We might bump into old Shat, at the thing. So I think if you can get a celebrity for your commercial that is applicable or that can become a celebrity, I'm thinking of Jared the Verizon guy. The Can You Hear Me Now?
Let's not talk about Jared.
Let's not talk about Jared. It's been too soon. Too soon.
Can You Hear Me Now?
You got Jared was BW before Weinstein, so he was in a different era. Yes. No, but the Can You Hear Me Now guy. I call him Jared because he had glasses and kind of looked like the guy. Yeah. And now he looks like it more. He got a little chubbier, so Jared kind of started putting on a couple pounds. Anyway, he's switched now. He's jumped ship. Like he's Sprint.
Yeah.
Yes. And so like I think to them like they created him as a celebrity. He became famous for those commercials, and then he jumped ship. I don't remember a time that has happened that I can remember in recent memory or at all where somebody has just 180'd. Like you don't see Shatner like, oh, you've been to Hoopy and Abraham. Well, you should really try Oderman and Nichols because they're way better. You don't see that.
No,
jump.
You don't. No.
I don't know. I'm surprised that he wasn't contractually obligated, like, in perpetuity in the future and all known universe.
Because that was quite the get for Sprint.
Oh, yeah.
To get that guy to jump.
Yeah,
that was like the face of Verizon for years and years and years.
Absolutely.
So I mean, like, if that guy jumps, why shouldn't I?
I think it's a bad legal department. They really should have had. You may not advertise for another cellular provider in ever, or you will owe us $1 billion. Whatever.
Yes, yeah.
Because it could have been anything. He could have been the next Colonel Sanders at KFC. Who cares? But for it to be directly in your industry and like flip flop, I don't know about that.
That's dangerous.
That's a little dangerous.
So, back to like the big, like explosive branding things. Like, are there any commercials you can think of that you feel like that was the thing that like kind of put that product on the map? Like before that commercial,
I got you.
Like it was kind of like non-existent. I mean, the one that immediately comes to mind for me, and I never saw it because it was the year I was born. But back in 1984, Apple had the one with the woman running through IBM with the hammer and like she shatters. It's like
I did not remember that.
Geez, we're gonna have to watch it after we're done recording just so you can see it because it is like one of the most, like they say it's one of the most important commercials of all time because it was one of the first commercials that actually like told a story, and it was about how like this revolutionary company Apple was gonna destroy IBM. Yeah. And so it's like this. So it's like this independent woman running through this 1984-esque, like dystopian future, whereas everybody was like very robotic and was controlled by this overarching authoritarian state. Wow. And Apple came through and shattered that.
It's like a deep.
It's very deep,
futuristic movie of. I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if it's true or not. I'm going to say that McDonald's would be nothing without Ronald McDonald.
No, yeah, I would agree.
Because I don't think they were as popular. I mean, I think they were. I mean, they were popular, but I think that Ronald McDonald, he became so iconic.
Yeah,
and I mean, I think that he literally made that company their kind of national status that they have.
McDonald's, I think. Up until the last several years where you had like this health food like craziness that we've seen that has kind of, I think, really hurt the McDonald's brand, has always had really awesome commercials though. I remember the Bird Jordan like the horse game that they played like for the Big Mac and fries, where it's like, okay, off the crane, off the window, nothing but net. And it was just this really extreme, and they did that for years. And they actually brought it back a couple years ago, and they got really rave reviews because they did it again. But you have something that it looks like you're going to show me.
Yeah, I am going to show you something. I want people to look this up too. John, I want you, without looking, to tell me what you think. Describe Ronald McDonald to me. I mean, if I have never seen him, and I need you to tell me what he looks like, and I'll never have an opportunity to see a picture. What does he look like?
The quintessential clown.
Yeah. Okay. Quintessential clown. What?
Yeah.
What?
Red nose.
Okay.
White makeup. Smiley face. Red curly hair. Not necessarily curly, but
I'd like everyone at home to Google the original Ronald McDonald.
Oh my lord! I've seen that picture before. He looks nothing like he does now.
The original Ronald McDonald. He had
some serious plastic surgery.
He had a small drink cup as a nose. And had things attached to him. He had a hat made out of teddy bears and pretzels or something. It's very scary. I don't know what to do with that information.
Ronald McDonald kind of leads into this one, but best spokespeople. Who he's got kind of a dicey past, but I love the ShamWow guy.
The ShamWow. Oh,
the ShamWow guy, Billy.
I'm thinking.
How about Billy Mays? Billy Mays is
Billy Mays here. OxyClean.
That guy could clean anything. Intense. He could sell anything.
Absolutely.
They actually did a documentary on how Billy Mays was so effective at selling things.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a documentary about it, and I actually think he might have had his own reality show too.
He could have.
But I mean, I would have watched it. He could have sold it to me.
There's a person in town locally, and she can sell anything to anybody. She will literally invoice you before you've purchased something. And that is an art to be able to sell like that. And I think they've kind of, for big companies, they don't have the luxury of that door-to-door customer servicey type service, and so they use ads and marketing and spokespeople. I kind of put the spokesperson those for the made for TV or TV products, like Richard Simmons or people like that. I remember, the sweat into the oldies back in the day.
Yes.
They would sell all that kind of stuff. What do you think about shopping networks? Home shopping networks. I kind of put that in the real time Billy Mays hour. You know what I mean? It's
it's true.
It's just a back to back variety hour of those types. Billy Mays was likable.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was.
I like Billy Mays a lot.
Yeah,
the ShamWow guy always kind of seemed like, you know what, ShamWow guy, you've got a little edge to you. I don't know if I'd like to meet you in a dark alley, and I think it's been proven that you don't want to meet him in a dark alley. But Billy Mays Billy
it's
Mays
been
is
proven.
There's a couple things I got to educate you on after we're done recording here today. But
ladies and gentlemen, I'll keep the tape rolling. It'll be after the jingle song at the end. But if Phil Hartman was too soon, Billy Mays was way too soon.
Absolutely. I apologize. I apologize for bringing him up.
There are bad mascots, and not bad as in, like, I don't like them. I mean, like, I just don't think they're quality. Like, the General, do you know that it's like... it's like, the General. Like, he's just
like the animated General.
And I don't even know what the hell it's for. Is it like insurance or... It's
like reverse mortgage or mortgage in search or something.
I am the General, rah, rah, rah. Okay. It's not even a quality design. I think they just took like some 3D asset they bought off a marketplace and they're like, sure, just give him a voice.
We paid for it.
Just like, what? So I'm not a good fan of that one.
One that I always loved when I was growing up was Juan Valdez for Colombian Coffee.
Wow.
It's just the guy walking in front of a donkey
Juan
with
Valdez?
He
is the second most interesting man in the world.
Yes.
He's like the Dos Equis guys,
well,
but
I
think
he's the most interesting man in the world's dad.
Maybe.
Or grandpa or something.
I don't know. I think maybe he's like a son. So,
and like you could give Juan Valdez like his own backstory, like how did he get into this? I mean, has he just been doing this since he was a little child, or did he really become an expert on coffee beans? So he just went all over the world. Wow. I mean, there's a lot of questions there.
Deep backstory for just that.
And we reference this guy all the time. But how about the Micro Machines guy?
Oh yeah. Micro Machines. It's like the fastest mouth in the West. Joe Camel.
Joe Camel.
Joe Camel.
Joe Camel.
Joe Camel is one of those prime examples about advertising, because if advertising is as effective as we're saying it is, we're saying these jingles hit us in the gut and we remember these things, then maybe it is bad for Joe Camel to be a mascot for something that maybe kids would find appropriate. Like if it's like Toucan Sam wants you to smoke, kind of like that. I mean, kids get invested in that.
And we actually did not give William Shatner the credit he deserved, because he was the Priceline guy for 10 years. Yeah.
But then he goes to Hoopie and Abraham or whatever.
But I mean, you think about that, like. He was Priceline. Priceline without William Shatner? What would Priceline be without William Shatner? There'd be nothing.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, these companies kind of come and go and wane, especially website companies like that. One mascot-y type thing I think is interesting is the eHarmony guy. Like the guy who created eHarmony.
Yeah, Dr. Neil Clark Warren.
He's like,
I owe him my marriage.
You really?
I met my wife on eHarmony.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. The personality profile.
And here's the thing about him. He is not a good mascot.
No.
He's not an interesting mascot, but he worked perfectly.
But he knows his crap.
Because he's a doctor. And for him, those commercials were done in a way where it was very personable. I trusted him. Versus the doctor that's like...
This could be an everlasting love. This could be...
Anyway... It's better than those very overtly sleazy commercials with the doctor. I'm a doctor, I have a medical degree, and I approve of this product. Looks at the other camera. It's very poorly done. Sure, they just bought a doctor's coat and put a random guy in it and pretended, I just randomly thought of these, but the Keebler elves.
Yeah.
I mean, those are
good.
Mr. Clean.
Mr.
And
Clean,
that is
Mr.
a good
Clean.
jingle.
Yeah, yes.
Mr. Clean gets rid of grease and grime and dirt in just a minute. Ho, 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 green giant.
Yes.
I mean, those, I'm kind of coming back to me.
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger. Cereals kind of have some great, jingles to them. But, that's good stuff.
A lot of joy brought by commercials. And, I think that's one of the things that, a lot of these commercials that we've talked about, had their like world premiere during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you know, this is a podcast about pop culture, and I know you're not like really a Super Bowl like sports fan person, but you gotta appreciate what sports and the Super Bowl in particular has done for marketing departments and commercials everywhere.
I really don't, because you have to overpay to have your.
I thought I had stumbled across the reason for you to be appreciative of sports.
If there was no Super Bowl, they would air it another time during something other popular.
Would they have ever gotten that creative though?
Yeah,
had it not been for the Super Bowl.
I think so. So let me use this for an example. The Maytag repairman. I go back to him. He was reinvented. It was an original mascot that was reinvented for the times. Chester Cheeto, Tony the Tiger, Mr. Peanut, like Pillsbury Doughboy, Mr. Clean. All of these things were like, you know, created in the 40s, 50s, 60s, you know, somewhere around there. And then they were kind of recreated for a new generation. They were stylized a little bit. They gave him a different voice, or they gave him a voice altogether. And they've kind of grown up. Ronald McDonald started out something completely different. So I think that good ideas are grounded in marketing, but keeping that branding and refreshing that branding. I kind of hate it when you completely get away from a mascot. Like companies that switch. I'm a little... Geico is kind of an example of this. I really love their commercials. Mm-hmm. But I feel like... once I get attached to the cavemen...
They almost throw too much at the wall.
Yeah. You know? It's like, let's see what sticks every day.
But they're so good that like almost everything sticks. But I want... you know what? I would watch a show with the gecko at home.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think...
I think I might watch a show about the Geico gecko, but not where he's at home with like his gecko wife. Like, let's have him be like married to like an actual like human woman.
Okay, I could see that.
I think that could be enjoyable.
I think that Geico should open up, they should keep one mascot, and then they should open up an advertising division that just markets for other companies. For other products, not insurance. Because they have such good ideas.
Yeah.
They just need to get those people over there.
Yeah.
John, what was the mascot that I created at the very beginning? For the little Sam?
Culture Pete.
Pop Culture Pete?
Culture Pete.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pop Culture Pete saying,
Hey, Pete, thanks for coming back.
See you next time on Pop Culture Problems.